Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I had not seen Emperor in the cinema, but I recently purchased it on Blu-ray. And being a World War II buff and studying the Italian, Polish, Russian, and Japanese side of the war, I have to say this is exceptionally accurate, and that whoever did the research did it correctly. Um, it's really a stirring documentary, and MacArthur, played by Tommy Lee Jones, is perfect to a T. And he had problems with his back, which is really shown in a very deliberate way, though to many of the viewers it probably looks just like he's got a lot of bravado, and he's supposed to be well, he was intimidating. It's just the way he was. And Tommy Lee really does a phenomenal job of really putting forth that American swagger, as he puts it in the film, which is just so very very Western. I really enjoyed the film myself. I just thought it was stupendous. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. If you're not a fan of history or World War II or Japan, then this probably really isn't your cup of tea. But being a World War II buff, I absolutely loved it. This goes in my rank of my top World War II films. My ultimate favorite would probably be Saving Private Ryan. I mean, that's my utmost, because it's just so good. I really don't know what else to say about this movie other than I think Tommy Lee really made it, even though he played more of a secondary role. The actor who played Bonner Fellers, I thought he did a great job, and I've read about Bonner, and Bonner was very brave and man of integrity. He had a lot of diplomacy, I felt, and he could understand Japan, and this is also a love story. I'm not going to go into why it is, but it's just so very touching, and it's also about tomodachi, I don't know if I used the right word, but I know that tomodachi means friend in Japanese. And that whole idea of the comradeship or the camaraderie that Japan and America had, or that they formed, is a big deal in this entire film, and it's actually probably the main theme, other than they're both guilty of their crimes, and so are all people that get involved in war over time. War's hell. Whoever conquers, the people being conquered, there really are no victors, and even though you get the spoils, you will never really reap the benefit, because you're going to have blood on your hands no matter what you do. That's why war stinks. It just doesn't make any sense. It does no good in the end. And that was one lesson, I think, from this. That's still one mar against Americans. I'm American myself, but I just absolutely love Japan. So when I see films like this, I get really torn, because I feel bad for the Japanese, and I sympathize. My dad always calls me a Japanese sympathizer. I know we hated them at the time. We're over that. We're allies now. Thank God. God forbid we ever have another war. But this is it could have gone a whole lot differently too, had it not happened the way it did. And me being the history buff I am, I know this for fact, and I also like to read the alternate histories, and they always give you a little bit of brain fodder and constructive thinking. So yeah, this does give you a lot of um, food for thought to mull over, and it really is just a remarkable film. The cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. I'm pretty sure they filmed it in Japan, just because the buildings are very accurate and occidental. Uh, Nobody was very recognizable in this film. I really didn't know anybody who was involved. I just knew Tommy Lee Jones, who I love. And this is his second film. I don't know if he got notoriety like he did for Lincoln, which he did. He got an Oscar, which he deserved immensely. But other than that, I can't really say too much about the film, other than I absolutely adored it, and I highly recommend it. If you're in a history class, this is a very historically accurate film. I can't really say that much else about it. It's not boring. You'll be entertained. You will learn something. And I feel that had things gone differently, God only knows what would what would happen. But we can all make our own conclusions on that, and that's what the film really drives home as a message. And just a warning for those of us who think we have the right idea but really don't, and how to go about things more sensibly and reach consensus. And that just makes so much more sense to me. As I don't know why, but it just does. And that's basically all I have to say about The Emperor. If you haven't watched this yet, then do so. Rent it, or like me, since I'm a collector of this type of film, then it's in my media library for posterity. And one day I will probably watch it again with my children when they come into this world, because I want them to learn from past mistakes and hopefully not make the same mistakes that we did. And that's why we have books that are written on this sort of subject, and why words hold their power.